Nexus Mod Manager, as the name dictates, is a software interface that allows you to manage your mods more easily than you would be able to do if you were installing modifications manually. Provided by the largest game mod website on the internet, NexusMods.com, it is always being updated and troubleshooted when issues arrive. For those new to GamerPoets, do not let the length of this video intimidate you. If you have a browser that allows annotations, you can select the navigational options by clicking right on screen and jumping to parts of the video that you want to see without having to guess by dragging the timeline. And for those who do not have the option to select annotations, you can use the hand-type navigation in the video description, which has not only the options on screen, but even more to-the-point time sets, allowing you to get right to the information that you want to know. Installation. Navigate to nexusmods.com / the title of the game that you are installing it for /mods / mod manager. Select the green download button for whichever operating system you have. The installer will download to the folder that you have designated for all downloads to go to on your own system, and others may be able to open this right from their browser. Execute the installer. Select Run. If you get a user account control warning window, select Yes. At the Select Setup Language window, choose your language from the drop-down menu, select OK. At the Nexus Mod Manager Setup window, select Next, read the license agreement, activate the I accept the agreement option, select Next. Read the release notes, select Next. Select the destination location for Nexus Mod Manager to be installed to. I recommend installing NMM directly to the game folder that you wish to use it for. While you can use NMM for multiple games, in my experience, it has always been better to run a separate copy of whatever mod manager you are using per each game. And by default, the install path should already be Steam, Steam Apps, Common, the game title, Nexus Mod Manager. If it is not, select the Browse button and choose this location. When done, select Next. Choose whether or not you wish to create a Start menu folder for Nexus Mod Manager. Select Next. Select additional tasks that you wish for NMM to do. However, I suggest leaving the default options selected if you aren't familiar with them. Select Next. Select Install. If you receive an information window, read the text and select Next, and then select Finish. Game-specific tasks. At this point, you should be ready to browse the NexusMods.com game pages and download mods. However, some games require a few more steps. At the time of this video's creation, Fallout 4 is the only one that I am aware of. If you are not a Fallout 4 user, then skip to the toolbar section. Fallout 4 users. Navigate to the drive that your operating system is on, Users, your user account name, Documents, My Games, Fallout 4. Open the FALLOUT4.INI file. If you cannot see the file extension, the .ini, watch the Reveal File Extensions video from the helpful secondary video section above. Within the FALLOUT4.INI, navigate to the section titled Archive. Locate the setting sResourceDataDirsFinal equals and add this long line of values after it, available to copy and paste from the video description. Close the .ini file and be sure to save it. Next, open the FALLOUTPREFS.INI file. Scroll down until you find the section titled Launcher. Beneath the title, add both the setting and the value bEnableFileSelection equals 1. Close and save the .ini file. Again, you can find this information to copy and paste from the video description. Still within the Fallout 4 folder, right-click any .ini file and select Properties. Within the Attribute section, activate the Read Only checkbox. This will assure that updates to the game will not reset your .ini file information. Select Apply, select OK, and then do the same thing for the other .ini file. If you want to make changes to the .ini files in the future, repeat this process, deactivate the Read Only checkbox, make your amendments, reactivate the Read Only checkbox, and you are good to go. The Nexus Mod Manager Toolbar. The toolbar is the main source of functionality, options, and preferences for Nexus Mod Manager. The Game Launch button will launch the game that you are using Nexus Mod Manager for with the load order and settings that you have specified within. Profiles. Profiles allow you to have different load orders, as well as plugins toggled on and off differently from each other. Selecting the drop-down arrow will reveal the different options to the user. New Profile allows you to create a new profile. Rename Current Profile allows you to rename the active profile. Remove current profile completely deletes the currently active profile. Save current profile allows you to save the current profile, and the profile list lists all of the profiles that you have and allows you to activate them by selecting one at a time, as well as renaming and deleting them without having to activate them. The Tools Wrench and Screwdriver icon. Reset UI resets the user interface to the default Nexus Mod Manager layout. Disable all active mods. Disables all mods that you have loaded into NMM. Uninstall all active mods. Uninstalls every single mod that you have activated. Restore the backup profile. Adds the backup profile if one has been made to the profile list for the current profile. Change virtual folders. The virtual folders are where Nexus Mod Manager stores all of the mod information for the mods that you have installed, ESPs, ESMs, textures, and so on. This allows NMM to know what files to delete from the data folder when uninstalling a mod, as well as what to load when NMM launches. Virtual install. Along with the data folder, this is where mods run pack 2 after activating them in the Mods tab. Select the ellipsis to the right to change the location. The multi-hard drive install options. Nexus Mod Manager must be open and run as administrator for these options to be changed. Enable Multi-HD Install Mode. When activated, this allows you to place non-plugins on a separate drive. Choosing a slow drive will cause your gameplay to drop in frame rate, loading times, and may cause lag. However, doing this to a drive that is not slow will allow you to save space on your main game drive. NMM extracted files that need to be on the same drive as the game. This is where plugins, since they must be installed to the game drive itself, will be stored that cannot be sorted using the multi-HD install method. In summary, choose this file path on your game drive for the ESPs and the ESMs to be located in. Reset Archive and Validation. Selecting this will reset Archive and Validation. The Open Folders icon. Open Game Folder will open the game folder in your System's Explorer. Open NMM's Mods folder will open the location of all of NMM's mod information, including cache, category info, and profiles. Open NMM's Install Info folder. This option will bring you to where all of Nexus Mod Manager's installation information is located. The Settings icon. Selecting the Settings icon will open the Settings window. The Settings window. The Settings window shows all of the available settings that the user has enabled and allows the user to change them. The General tab. Associations. These settings will remain grayed out unless Nexus Mod Manager is launched as administrator. Close NMM, right-click the Nexus Mod Manager icon, select Run as Administrator. Add shell extensions for supported file types. By activating this checkbox, you will be allowed to add shell or COM objects that add features and interfaces to execute commands that are supported by Nexus. Associate with NXM URLs. By activating this checkbox, you will be enabling NMM to be associated with nexusmods.com URLs. You will want this so you can download mods directly from the site. Associate with fomod.fomod files. By activating this checkbox, you allow Nexus Mod Manager to open fomod installers, thus making your mod experience much easier when fomods are provided by the individual mods themselves. Options. Check for updates on startup interval in days. By activating this checkbox, you enable NMM to automatically check for updates to Nexus Mod Manager itself. You can choose how often this process will be performed by selecting the drop-down menu to the right. Don't extract README files. By activating this checkbox, you will tell Nexus Mod Manager to not extract files titled README from mods when installing them. This will keep your data folder from being cluttered with them and/or from overwriting README files that are already in the game's data folder. Scan mods directory subfolders for mods. Does exactly what it says. This option will have NMM scan the mods directory and its subfolders for mods. Close Nexus Mod Manager after launching game. By activating this checkbox, you will tell Nexus Mod Manager to close after the game at hand has been launched, which can help you save on system resources. And though a tiny amount, every little bit helps. Enable Mod Info side panel. By activating this checkbox, Nexus Mod Manager will display the Nexus Mod page on the right-hand side of the main interface when highlighting a mod within the Mods tab. Hide Mod Update warning icon. By activating this checkbox, you will hide the warning icon next to mods that need updating. Just because a mod has an update, it does not necessarily mean that you must update it. Keep your personal load order in mind before blindly updating mods, as it may cause conflict with other modifications that you have installed. Tracelog directory is the file path as to where the tracelog will be generated. You can change the destination by selecting the ellipsis to the right of it. Temporary path directory is the file path as to where the NMM temporary files will be stored. You can change the destination by selecting the ellipsis to the right. The Mod Options tab is where you can find advanced mod installation options. FOMod compression handles the speed and format in which FOMod installers run and what archive program is used to unpack them. Format is suggested to be set to 7-zip. This selection also handles rare files just as well. Compression level is the speed at which the FOMod is unpacked. I suggest to leave this at Ultra. The Download Options tab. File Server Preferences allows you to force NMM to choose a specified nexusmods.com server for file download. Server Location. From the drop-down menu, by default, the CDN Basic Nexus Mod server is used. However, if you are a premium member, you can select the server closest to your geographical location and speed up your downloads. Premium features. Special features that only premium nexusmods.com members can utilize. Use multi-threaded downloads. By activating this checkbox, you will be allowed larger download rates, thus increasing the speed at which mods will be downloaded. Download/fix tweaks. For those using the Windows 8 operating system, click the Fix It button to attempt to fix any issues that may be caused by the OS. The Supported Tools tab is where the file paths for modding software that Nexus Mod Manager has been pre-configured to work with are established. Some of the programs listed will automatically have their file locations detected. However, it is still good to double check that the file paths have been entered. I would also recommend to install any of these tools to the specific game folders themselves to assure easy detection and better personal organization. The Game Title tab. Each game that you use Nexus Mod Manager for will have its own tab dedicated to it entitled accordingly. The Mod Directory is the file path to where mods downloaded via the Download with Manager button will be stored. Select the ellipsis to the right to change the location. These files are the actual archives and not the unpacked mod folders. I suggest, if you have the option, storing them to an HDD or storage drive to keep your storage capacity down on your main game drive if using an SSD. The Install Info option is where NMM's mod installed information will be stored. Select the ellipsis to the right to change the location. The Game Title Directory needs to point to the actual game's installation directory, or the game folder. Custom Launch Commands is where you can add both commands and arguments as to how the game will be launched. When using a game like Skyrim and mods such as Perma and other Skyproc patch generators, this is where you would type in any of the arguments. Show ESM files in bold. By activating this checkbox, all ESM files will be bold within the main interface Plugins tab. While not all options within the settings window require you to restart Nexus Mod Manager, I would suggest to do so after making any changes. The Tips light bulb icon will allow you to read helpful tips and update information based on whichever version of NMM you select from the drop-down menu. The Search Bar allows you to type in any information within the names of the mods that you have installed, and Nexus Mod Manager will begin to hide mods without the information that you are typing. This will allow you to quickly find mods that you have installed. Leave the search bar blank to see all of your installed mods. The Supported Tools folder icon will allow you to launch any of the supported tools that you have installed as long as the proper file paths have been set in the settings window directly from within Nexus Mod Manager. The Update Nexus Mod Manager globe icon will allow you to update NMM if a new version has been released. The Change Game Mod curved arrow icon allows you to change the game that you are using Nexus Mod Manager for, as well as to rescan for other NMM compatible games on your system that you may have installed since first installing Nexus Mod Manager. The Help ? Icon gives you links to lots of helpful and the official Nexus Mod Manager information. The main interface. This is where the majority of the actual modification work will be performed. The Plugins tab. Main window lists all of the plugins, ESMs, and ESPs that you have installed. The Plugins column is the name of each plugin that you have installed. Official plugins should be grayed out, and at the very top of the list, and the checkboxes can be used to activate and deactivate plugins without removing them completely. The load order column. Load order is one of the most important things that one needs to know when modding. Files that are higher in number and lower in physical position take priority over other mods. This means that if two plugins change the same information, those with a higher priority number will overwrite the other. Important to take note of when figuring out compatibility issues. The index column is used as a list to keep track of how many plugins you have installed and in what position the plugin is in. This is set up similar to how the load order column is, though starting with the number 1. The exterior window gives you the mod name, plugin name, and the name of the author who created whatever plugin is highlighted within the main window. It also lists any master files that the plugin at hand depends on to work. If a plugin is not loaded with a higher priority than its master file, or if the master file is missing, the game will crash. The Plugins tab sidebar. The arrows move the highlighted plugin up or down in load order position. The no symbol icon deactivates all plugins in your load order. The checkmark icon activates all plugins in your load order. The text dock right arrow exports your load order to a text document, and the text dock left arrow imports a saved load order from a text document. And some general information about the Plugins tab. Plugins can be dragged and dropped to change their position. Plugins can be double-clicked to activate or deactivate them, and columns can be collapsed or expanded by dragging the dividing line next to their title. The Mods tab. The Mods tab displays all of the mods that you have installed, including mods that do not have plugins. Textures, meshes, and other non-plugin files, when installed, overwrite any identical files that are stored to the game's data folder. In summary, whatever you install last will win. You will have to reinstall a mod if you want its files back that another mod has replaced. Mod installation. There are 2 ways that you can install mods using Nexus Mod Manager. First, let's head over to nexusmods.com. When on Nexus Mods, you can navigate games that Nexus Mod Manager is available to use for. For this example, I will use Fallout 4, and I will use an in-house mod created by a GamerPoet named Slego to show you how to do this. After you search the mod name, select the title. You will then be brought to the mods page. From here, go to the Files tab. Now, you can either use the Download with Manager button or the Download Manually option. Download manually will allow you to add the archive anywhere that you want on your system, and you will have to add it manually later. By selecting the Download with Manager option, the mod will be installed directly to Nexus Mod Manager, and I have chosen the Faux Mod option of this mod to show you how to navigate that as well. If you download a large mod file, you can use the task bar at the bottom to see how long it will be until the mod has finished being downloaded and installed to Nexus Mod Manager. Once installed, you need to open the Mods tab and double-click the mod to activate it. And for most mods, the installation process would be done. However, when a faux mod installer or Fallout mod installer is provided, you will be able to select different options provided to you by the mod author. In the case of Silence, another GamerPoet, Joe, who also created Skyfalls and Sky Mills for Skyrim, created this faux mod installer to allow you to activate the checkboxes and go through the screens to enable and disable different pieces of the mod to your own preference. These installers are great for compatibility situations when you have big load orders. And to install the mod manually, you would select the plus sign from the sidebar, navigate to where you downloaded the mod manually to onto your system, double-click the mod, which will load it into Nexus Mod Manager, and then double-click the mod name in the Mods tab to activate it. If you have skipped directly to this part of the video, be sure to check out the game-specific tasks section to make sure that your game doesn't have any other requirements to allow mods to work. The name column is the name of the mod's archive that you have installed. The category column is the category folder that the mod was installed to based on the nexusmods.com meta information or personally created category. Install date is the date that you last installed the mod. Download date is the date that you downloaded or loaded the mod into Nexus Mod Manager. Endorsement signifies whether or not you have endorsed the mod. Mod version is the version of the mod that you have installed. Author is the name of the author who created the mod based on what the file uploader has specified. The Mods tab sidebar. The plus sign allows you to manually add a mod from your system or from a specific URL. By the default, the icon will open your System Explorer. Select the drop-down arrow to type in a URL. The no symbol icon will disable the highlighted mod. The X symbol will completely remove the mod and all of its files from the game data folder as well as from the Nexus Mod Manager directories. Get Mod Info, the paper and pencil icon, opens the Edit Mod Information window. Name is and allows you to change the name of the mod within your personal NMM setup. Version is and allows you to change the version of the mod within your personal setup. The author is and allows you to change the name of the mod author within your personal setup. The website is and allows you to change the specific website address location of the mod. The description is the code from the nexusmods.com mod page. Screenshot allows you to add, via the open folder icon, or remove, via the broom icon, an image to the mod for your personal Nexus Mod Manager setup to represent what the mod is. Check for mod updates, the binocular icon. Checks for either missing mod downloaded IDs or mod version updates. By default, it searches for mod updates. Select the drop-down arrow to search for IDs. The endorsement thumb up icon instantly endorses the highlighted mod on nexusmods.com without having to go back to the mod's webpage. The category icon. By default, the category icon will add a new category folder to the mods tab window. From the drop-down arrow, you can choose to collapse all categories, which will collapse the folders so that you do not see any of their contents, expand all categories, which will expand all folders so that you see absolutely every mod installed inside of them, reset to Nexus site defaults, which will remove any personally created categories, add any missing categories found on nexusmods.com, and sort the mods that you have installed into them based on the category that the mod author designated the mod to be in originally. Reset unassigned mods to Nexus site defaults. This will take any mods located in the unassigned folder that have nexusmods.com meta information and place them into the categories that the mod author designated them to be in. Reset all mods to unassigned. We'll take every mod that you have installed out of their specific category folder and place them all into the unassigned folder. Remove all categories. We'll remove every category folder except the unassigned folder and place all of your mods into it. Toggle hidden categories. We'll reveal any categories that have been hidden. The category folders themselves. Category folders are used to help you sort the mods that you have installed to Nexus Mod Manager. Right-clicking a category folder will open its options window. Categories. You can either create a new folder or remove the highlighted category from your setup. Mod update warnings allow you to toggle a specific mod update notification off and on to disable them for the entire mods tab or enable them for the entire mods tab. Scan selected mods for README files. We'll scan all of the mods within the selected folder for any README files that they may contain in case you wish to read them. And a little general information, the number that you see on the folder indicates how many mods that you have installed to the specific mod category. In the Switch Views icon, we'll switch the Mods tab window between sorting modes, one being categories and the other being all of the mods loaded into NMM without the categories. And some final information on the Mods tab. Mods can be double-clicked to be activated or deactivated, and columns can be collapsed or expanded by dragging the dividing line next to their title. Nexus Mod Manager Task Bar. The Download Manager tab shows the names and status of any current mods being downloaded. Downloads can be paused and resumed by selecting the icons from the left. The Mod Activation Queue shows mods currently being activated and their status. Nexus Login is where you log in and out of nexusmods.com. A green icon is being logged in and a red icon being logged out. Total Plugins. This displays the total number of ESPs and ESMs combined in your load order. Active Plugins displays the total number of activated ESPs and ESMs in your load order. Total Mods displays the total number of mods loaded into Nexus Mod Manager. Installed Mods displays the total number of installed mods in your NMM setup. Active Mods displays the total number of activated mods in your NMM setup. And this is where I like to take a little bit of time to thank all of those who have helped this process, who have been supporting GamerPoets, and to mention any secondary sites where I got some information from. First of all, a big thank you to Dave, Sir Salami, on NexusMods.com. His interest and support in GamerPoets has been a major motivating factor to me in recent months. And other than that, I would like to thank all of you who have been watching these tutorials and everything else on the GamerPoets channel. As I always say and always mean, without you guys, there is no GamerPoets. This channel would just be a pastime and a hobby with very few updates and uploads. If and when Nexus Mod Manager has any major updates, I will set aside some time to update this tutorial accordingly. If you have any suggestions or potential changes that you think should be implemented in the next update of this tutorial, mention them in the comments section below, and if I do in fact use them, I will credit you in that tutorial as well as on the GamerPoets.com website. And as always, I am Michael of GamerPoets. Thank you guys for watching.